today's video, I'm here with Miss Trudy.
Hey guys.
So a lot of you guys have been asking me, Diamond, what is the tea? What is going on? What is the dating life in Tanzania? How is it to be with an African man and all this stuff? So I wanted to bring Miss Trudy on, one, because she's an African woman. She's from Kenya, and I'm an African American woman. And I feel like we just have different views and we were raised differently about dating and stuff like that. So I just want to get right into it. So one, I would say dating an African American man and dating an African man is completely different.
How is it different?
It's different because there's just different rules to it. Like there's just different rules to it. I'll give you an example. So, okay, so when you go out with an African man, who pays?
Okay, sometimes for me, sometimes I pay, sometimes he pays, but most of the time he pays.
Most of the time he pays?
Yeah.
So for us, well, it depends on the woman, but for most of us, we like in America, like we like 50-50. You know what I'm saying? And from my experience, you know, here, like African women are taken care of, they like to be taken care of. Now, it's a little different, yeah, it's a little different with you in particular because you get your bag, you getting your money out here. But for a lot of women, from what I know, like they're looking for opportunity when it comes to men because they're ready to have kids, they want to get married and stuff like that. And us, African American women, we're just a little different when it comes to that.
So it doesn't feel good for man to take care of you. Like having to pay out, he's like paying for everything. You know, you don't want that?
You know what? I mean, yes and no. Like yes and no, because I think our problem in the Western world is we have this independent black woman thing. So we feel like if a man takes care of us, it's like he feels like we owe them something. You know what I'm saying? Like you pay for my meals, so you expect me to, you know, go behind the truck and give you some. And we ain't with that. So we feel like if we pay, it's like, give you an example. Let's get into the bride price and things like that. Can you tell us a little bit about how the bride price works? Why is there even a bride price, and like how that whole system works?
You mean in States guys don't pay for bride price?
Absolutely not.
Wait, for real?
Yes, girl. There's no bride price. No.
See, okay, in Africa, like the man has to appreciate the parents of the girl. You know, so that's why they give bride price. You know, because they raised the girl, they made her, they helped to make her who she is. So you just don't go and take the girl. You know, you have to show the parents appreciation. You know.
But isn't that like, don't you feel like that's like ownership? Like it's like I'm buying property. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm paying for my wife, so she's mine. That's it. Like to me, that's what it feels like.
I get your point of view, but how we look at it is just guys appreciating the parents. Yeah. So you get that if the parents are not there, maybe the elder brother, for example, if the parents died and they were young, the elder brother who helped take care of the girl, just like thank you, you know. It's not exactly like I'm buying the girl, like she's now my property, you know, it's like thank you, it's appreciating.
So after he pays for the bride price,
like in States guys don't pay.
No, we don't do that.
Oh my god.
We don't do that.
So how do you show the family you're grateful? What do you do?
You be a good man.
Wow.
Okay. If you're a good man to her, then it makes the family happy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's taking care of you, he's doing everything that he has to do for your family and stuff like for her. So then it makes them happy. You know what I'm saying?
So because your Tanzanian boyfriend must be so happy.
He is. But I will tell you a secret. So you know, my father died, God rest his soul. But I told my brother about like the whole bride pricing and stuff like that. And he was like, okay, let me get my list ready. Let me get my list ready because I know what I want and stuff like that. And we all started like laughing about it because he was like, no, we going with his culture, not our culture. I was like, I think it only goes, so what happens if like like the parents pass away, would the siblings still collecting money?
Yeah, like the big brother.
Okay, so
the
Cyrus, if you watching this, I'm gonna tell Hope, you better get your cows ready. So how does the normal bride pricing like system work? Like the guys come together, like what happens?
You know, it could be cows, it could be money, it could be other communities that give camels. In different communities have, you know, different ways of going about the whole situation.
With you as the wife, would you be a part of this?
A part of the bride price?
Yeah. Or you have nothing to do with this, like the men just handle it?
No. Some communities, the men just handle it. Some communities, the wife is also there. Like it depends. Like you see, Africa there's so many cultures, so many different communities and tribes, and all of them do it a different way.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, you gotta pay the bride price, man.
Yeah.
I'm so shocked. I didn't know that. I guess I never thought about it.
We don't do bride price then. We do. I mean, it depends on the culture, but some of them, like the husband has to pay for the wedding. You know, but even so, most people, like you guys just figure it out together and stuff like that. But usually for the parents, like, I mean, you just give them a cake. You don't do much. Like we don't have that stuff, because the thing about love in the States is that you guys choose each other, you know. And I know that in some cases, I mean, like you said, it's a whole bunch of culture and tribes and stuff here, but there's even some like arranged marriages here as well, right? And in that case,
but though it's not that common in the States.
Yeah, it's not that common. But you kind of choose each other, and you choose that you want to be in love and things like that. Also, I noticed that a lot of African women, they don't just have baby daddies like in the States. In the States, like you could be in a relationship and you guys could have a baby and not be married. But here, I noticed that like people get married more.
Yeah.
People get married way more. And even if the woman is pregnant, like they rush and they get married.
That's so true. Because it's like part of our culture, you know. It's like every girl wants to get married, you know. It's a big deal, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it.
But why can't she like have a baby and then like why is it like frowned upon if she has a baby and is not married?
Like, sorry?
Like why is it a bad thing if she has a baby? Like why do they rush to get married?
Because
like, the parents not accept it?
Many parents want their kids married. It's just the culture is just so different, you see. Like in Africa, your parents want you to have your own man, and they want you to stick to him, especially once you get his kids, stick to him, and you're good. Do you get?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that's why.
I get that.
Yeah, many families, like once you get pregnant with a man, they know you're supposed to end up with a man. So unless it's not like all the time. If it's not good to you, of course, it's not a must. But if the guy is good and you're good, why not?
So I'm actually gonna tell you a mistake that I made here.
What's that?
And you kind of give me your insight. So in the Western world, especially in America, women, we're like, if you see a man and you like him or you think he's cute, like you go for him. You know what I'm saying? But for here, but for here, I tried the same thing, and it was like I was looked at like a prostitute or a whore, and I was like, well, hold on, I'm from New York, okay? Like we don't do that. So why is it like that?
Just again, it's just about the culture. You know, we're taught that men are supposed to hunt. You know, like you just chill, the guy's gonna come for you. So when you go for the guys, it's like, oh my gosh, who is she? You know, like, do you do that? What do you do that? Like, where did you come from? You know, because just in the African culture, we're taught your man will support you. You know,
that's so weird.
So I know right now things are changing. You know, but
well,
still,
we're not proposing to men now.
Yeah, apparently.
That's really.
Things are changing, but the core African culture, that the man is supposed to support you, and you know, the man is supposed to ask you out. Actually, in some cultures, the man is supposed to come to your parents way before he talks to you. Go, oh, I like your daughter, you know. or to the brothers, or I like your sister. And then, yeah. So you see, coming from that, and then seeing a girl going to a guy and being like, hey, I like you. Yeah. It's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing personally, but it may come as a shock.
So if you were to give advice to an African American woman on how to get an African papi, 3 top things not to do, what would you say?
Not. I thought you were asking
not to do. Not to do. What not to do that's gonna turn off an African man? One, don't give them your number. Let them come to you.
Yeah, but though, okay, yeah. You see, that's hard. I was thinking, you asked me what to do.
Okay, what to do? What to do?
What to do? Once an African man knows you can cook, they love you.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though you don't know how to cook African food, because listen.
No, as long as you can cook, whatever you cook,
okay.
as long as the food is good and it goes to the tummy, whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it's food.
Because I can't get with that Uganda.
Of course you're not African. Of course you're not African, so we don't expect you to know African food. But you know, it's nice to explore your dishes as well as a foreigner. So whatever it is, like African guys love food and they love a woman who can cook.
Okay.
What do you guys cook?
Well, I'm Hispanic, so we make, rice and beans, chicken, beef, but we do all the same thing. It's just the taste and the seasonings are different. It just tastes different. But chicken is chicken, like beef is beef. You just, do it differently.
Oh yeah, so there's that, and then there's what to do. If you love his family, he's just gonna love you. If you don't like his family, you're so judgmental. Like that's just a turn off,
Yeah.
Because you see, coming from the States, and when you come to Africa, we are not as developed as you guys. And we might not be, a normal homestead here in Africa compared to the States. So if you're so judgmental, like, oh, where you guys stay? Oh, your sister, it's just a turn off. Like you have to accept someone and accept them fully for who they are.
I feel like one of the things that has been like a struggle just for me, dating in Tanzania, is just like the language barrier with the parents, because like they don't speak English.
Can you imagine? That's crazy.
I don't speak Kiswahili, so all I do is just smile.
But that's perfect.
Hi.
As long as you're smiling, they see that it's okay.
You start playing charades, like you're like, food. Food.
I know. The problem comes in when you can't talk and you're frowning the whole time. So like, okay, what are we doing? What does she want?
And
if you're smiling, it's something warm. So guys are like,
tell me if this is true. I heard that if the parents offer you something, you have to say that. Yes.
Of course.
You have to say that.
No.
Like if they offer you food, even if you just ate, you gotta be like,
It's seen as good. Or sometimes you might be full and like, but then you just can't. No.
They go in the kitchen and start talking about you like,
you've got to eat.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a very important. Oh my goodness, that's a very important point.
Yeah.
Like if you go to an African's man home and then they offer you something, especially the family, don't be like, oh thanks, I'm good.
So let me tell you a funny story. Let me tell you a funny story. So I met my boyfriend's mom. And she gave me food and it was delicious. But then she gave me tea. And I'm not a big tea person. But to make it worse, it was ginger tea. And I'm not a big ginger person. So she's watching me as I'm drinking it. And the ginger is just burning. So I'm sitting there turning red like, so good. So good. I'm like dying inside because I feel the ginger like, but I'm like smiling. And then he came and I was like, do you want some tea? Like, because I wanted to get rid of it because I just, I'm not a big ginger person. And it was good, but it just wasn't for me. But I didn't want to say no because I didn't want to seem disrespectful.
Situations, like, they'll be like, oh, you want tea? Like you just, if they're making tea, you tell them your preference. Like, personally, I don't love tea.
It was already made.
So I'd be like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, but you see, they understand. Like, can I get strong tea?
But she doesn't speak English.
But your boyfriend speaks Swahili.
But he was gone.
Oh, damn.
He left us in the room together. Wow. It's like, oh, just, you learn English, you learn Swahili.
Maybe you should download this app where you type and then you write say it in English.
I guess that's true. That is something I can do for next time. Definitely. I feel like I also have heard that like when it comes to African men, you meeting their family is like a big deal.
Oh yeah.
It's such a big deal. Like they don't introduce any woman to their family. Like usually when they do, they're like serious about the woman.
Yeah, because you know in Africa we don't take dating casually, you know. Okay, and when you do date, if you introduce someone to your parents, you know your parents are respected, you know. Yeah. So the moment you take your girlfriend or your boyfriend home, like that's a big deal, you know.
Define dating in African terms, because I feel it's very different than African Americans. Because African Americans, I can date 5 different guys. You see? Wow. You saw the reaction? I can date 5 different guys because I'm not sleeping with them. I'm just getting to know them. I'm seeing my options. So one night I go out with one guy. I get to know him. We have some dinner and he tells me about who he is and tells me his aspirations and dreams in life. And then I can go out with another guy and see who he is. And then I narrow it down and say, don't like him, don't like him. All right, now I'm down to 3. But that's like frowned upon here.
That's cheating, you know?
Oh, cheating, but you're not in a relationship.
How dare you? Like, don't even try that.
But you're not in a relationship with anyone.
I totally get what you're saying, but for Africans, okay, just say you're friends, you know, but don't say you're dating like 5 guys. Guys will be like, are you serious?
Really?
Yeah. Who are you? You know, like, who does that? And so you say, okay, they are my friends. I'm going out with a friend, you know. But the moment you say I'm dating, I think we take things a little bit more seriously.
Yeah.
Because dating is like, for us, it's like getting to know someone, a potential. So if you're seeing,
but why can't you get to know different men, or the men? Why can't you get to know different women to see?
You can know them when you guys are friends.
It's different.
Friends. Like,
I also heard.
I
also heard that if you sleep with an African man, automatically you his.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as one night stands. There's no such thing as, you know, you just casually having like a sex buddy. Like it's like you give him the cookies, that's his cookie.
If he loves you, yeah. But of course you have some guys who they still do one night stand and stuff like that.
Oh,
but like parties and stuff like that, yeah.
Okay, let's get into that. What's up with the I love you? What is up with the I love you? Like, it is like, you be like, you know, like you just meet somebody and you're like, hi, my name is Diamond, I love you. And I'm like, you don't even know me. What's up with that?
They're just trying to get, you know, they're just trying to get you to feel something. That's how African guys are, because they know, okay, when a guy tells you he loves you, you know, for girls, or at least for me, it's something deep. So girls, oh really? You do?
It's deep for you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And maybe some other people, like you see, if a guy tells you they love you, it's like, okay, do you mean it? Are you sure?
See,
okay, so let's take it to the next step. If you love me, you know. And many girls who like are looking for a serious relationship, when a guy tells them they love them, they're like, okay, let's do this, let's explore, you know. And it's easy for them to give themselves to the man because he said that. They believe the guy, yeah. But then you see guys, you get these guys, stupid guys in the club, and they're like, oh, I love him.
Right, because you're like, how do you love me? Now, my question is, when an African man tells you, I love you, what's your response?
It depends if you like him too, how long you've known each other.
Because for me, I don't care if he's African American, Asian, I don't care what he could be purple. When a man tells me I love you, I'm like, why? I always say that. And if you don't have a real definition as to why you love me, then you don't love me.
Wow, that's deep.
Period. Always. Every single time. Why do you love me? And if you're like, because I just love you, you gotta go. You gotta go. Because you don't love me. How can you say you love me and you don't even know why you love me?
So what kind of answer would be acceptable to you?
Okay. Well, not because now they're all about to say I love you and use the same answers. No, like if he said, you know, Diamond, like I love you because you're educated, you're smart, the things that you do for people, the fact that you know, light up the room whenever you come in, like whatever his reason is, the reason why he loves me. But just like, well, I don't like I love you because you're beautiful. I love you because of your body. No. Take that somewhere else. It has to be deep. I love you because of your faith in God. I love you because of how you treat other people. I love you. Like, it has to be a real reason why you love me. Because you have to ask yourself that. Because I ask myself that. Why do I love this man? I can't just say I love him. Why do I love him? What makes me so in love with him? What does he do that really captures my heart that I would rather be with him than any other man? And if you can answer that question, then you're really in love. But that's just me. That's just what I believe.
Me too.
You know, that's just what I believe, because it's so easy to say I love you. It's very easy. But to mean it in a way that you feel in your heart, it's just different. It's just different. So, you know, when he can explain that, then we open in the cookie jar. For real. So I did notice that. I noticed that a lot of guys are just so easy here to say, I love you. Meanwhile, in the States, men have commitment issues. You could be in a relationship with a man for 5 years and they won't marry you. Wow. They won't, you know, even introduce you to the parents. They won't even post a picture of you on Instagram.
That's not a relationship. Like,
right.
That's not a relationship.
Right. A lot of them have commitment issues. So it's like a fresh of breath air being here in the motherland, and people here appreciate marriage. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I love that there's still a place where people appreciate marriage and have values for marriage. And I think it's beautiful.
It is.
And I think that's why I'm with an African man.
So let me ask you something. Is it true what they say, now that you're dating like an African man? Is it true?
Girl!
I guess the viewers are wondering. The question.
Yes, they know what the question is. I would say the package is delivered, signed, and sent for. Okay? You ain't got no worries. Okay? So definitely, you know.
So all you American women there, I'm wondering if you know, weighing your options, thinking whether you should date an African. Not all African men are bad, you know. I hate how African men are really portrayed out there.
No.
Many
No. That is actually completely false.
Yeah, because
many
African men are frauds, you know. Many of some, of course.
No. That's not true though.
All of them.
First of all, African men are actually glorified in America.
Really?
Yes. They're actually glorified in America. Every woman. You know how many of my homegirls was like, girl, I can't wait to go over there just to get me some. You know, like, African men are glorified because the things that you hear about African men is good loving, and good loving. So, actually, it's at least every Black American's dream to be with an like African men, not a relationship, but like sexual relations and things like that. You don't hear people talk badly about when it comes to women. Don't talk bad about African men. It's like a desire, a big dream. Girl, I even had one girl, one of my friends.
So your dreams came true, huh?
No. For me, I never had a dream about being with an African man. I wanted to be with a man who loved me unconditionally and who would accept me for me. And I didn't really care what race he was. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened that, you know, I found an African man. But I actually I had a story, y'all. It's a funny story. And I hope she's not watching this, but I'm not gonna say her name, but I'm gonna spill your tea. So she was with an African man who was in America, and he was just rocking her world. And there was one time he slapped her. because he said it was in his culture that when when you love a woman, you slap her. That's what he told her, and she was like, "Okay, this is what they do." And she wanted to get out of the relationship, but she couldn't stop because the sex was so great that she was like, she felt like she was like on cocaine. It was like a drug. Like she was like crazy. She was like, "Oh my God, I need it. Like I need it." So yeah, and it is so funny because she told me, because I had never had sex with an African man, and she had told, she was like, just wait, girl. She was like, and then she called me when I did. She was like, for real. She was like, I was like, yeah, girl, because she's like, I told you about that man. She was like, I told you. No, but serious, guys, we do not promote violence at all. You know, you guys know that I've been through some serious stuff, and we do not at all. But you know, African men are praised in America, like
Really?
absolutely.
Because I've been watching documentaries about them being saying African men are frauds, you know.
Now, people have a suspicion about Nigerian men. Because Nigerian men have this really bad reputation of wanting to get married to a U.S. citizen to come to America.
That's but then I have some Nigerian friends, and not all of them are like
No, not all of them are like that. But even so, you know,
you see, the bad thing about that is that when you go to the States as a black person, they see you as an African. You know, they won't be like, oh, you're Nigerian. Just like
oh, absolutely,
you're black. So, but anyway, I didn't know that. That's a good thing.
Yeah, the women. The women.
What about African women? That's about African men. What about
African women? I can't say much. I mean, they just know that African women can cook and clean. But you know, actually, you know what?
Oh my God!
You know what? Actually, the Africans that we have in America, they're actually one of the most hardworking people, but they always have attitudes.
Really?
Always. They're very nasty. You know what I'm saying? They're very snappy. They don't tend to, you know, like other people. They stick with their kind. So
maybe
you know,
it's because they're just scared.
Yeah, it could be because they're just scared and stuff like that. And I noticed that the Africans in America are very different than the Africans here in Africa.
Really?
Just the persona, the attitude, you know what I'm saying? Like some Africans actually, let me say some Africans in America, they can be very, especially the women, they can be very nasty, very snappy, very like, just leave me alone. And then here, everybody is so warm and welcoming, like, hi, karibu, like, welcome here, da 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 da. So I do notice that is like a huge difference. But, you know, African men, they have a good reputation.
It's amazing.
They have a good reputation. But even so, you know, you have ignorant people everywhere. So that's just, it comes with it. It just absolutely comes with it. So now, you're dating an African man and you're an African woman. When you guys coincide together, like, do you guys follow the traditions? Or what would you say is a big difference between dating as Africans in the modern world than like the elders?
Okay, I'm dating a Ghanaian, yeah? But still, like, the culture is so different.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, it's so different.
Yeah.
Like, in Ghana, you're not supposed to eat with your left hand.
What?
Yeah. Because apparently, you're supposed to eat with your right hand. Because if you're eating with your left, elders can slap you. That's very disrespectful. You use this when you go to you use the left when you go to the loo. And the right is for eating. But you see, in Kenya, it doesn't really matter. You use both hands.
Yeah.
Like,
wait, even if you're at a restaurant,
yeah,
are you eating with your left hand? Somebody gonna come and say like that?
Usually they will do that, but you see these days, they just look at you like, oh my gosh.
Like, I can't believe you.
What? You know, but then it doesn't really matter in Kenya. It's just like, it's not even something we think about. Yeah, it's so much fun. I can't believe it's already over. But before we go, tell me like 3 things you love or enjoy, or 3 things that have shocked you about dating an African man.
Okay, so I think I'm doing a mixture of both. One thing that shocked me was there was actually a time where I was hanging out with friends, and my boyfriend was coming to see me, and we were all eating, and he came and walked away, and I thought it was the rudest thing ever. Like, I was pissed. I was like, that's so rude. But apparently when other people are eating, you can't just be there standing around. You have to wait until they're finished and then come back. So I thought that was very different. Like, I was like, okay, starting to understand that. 2, what I would say is like being open-minded. Like, for myself, like, I really have had to be open-minded, because certain words or certain things mean it, like the definition or the meaning is different in his culture versus mine. So I've had to like sit back and not take things so personal, because some things are just not personal. Some things, like, he actually just doesn't mean it in the way that I took it, and also vice versa. Maybe I said something that, you know, he thought differently or something like that. And the third thing would be, what would be the third thing? Not every African man is the same. Definitely, not every African man is the same, because we kind of got this, like, you know, persona that, like, African men can be this way, they can be that way, and there's so many different cultures, and there are a lot of modern African men out there, and they are aware that us Black Americans or Western people are different, and there are a lot of educated men out there, and they're out there. They are out there. And I feel blessed to be able to have a good one. I really do.
That's so
I
sweet.
really do.
But any individuals are just so
Yes, y'all. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys go follow Miss Trudy. She has amazing content all over the African continent. It is so inspiring for so many people, especially Black Americans who do want to come over here. She is showing you guys the beauty of Africa and not the twisted, wicked media that you see on the internet. So, you know, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.